What is CBD? CBD is an abbreviation for cannabidiol, and it's one of a class of compounds named cannabinoids that, you guessed it, exclusively occur naturally in members of the Cannabaceae family of plants. Members of this family include hemp, hops, commonly used to flavor beer, marijuana, and more. In addition to the cannabinoids, these plants feature their own unique cocktails of terpenes, flavonoids, amino acids, ketones, trace minerals, vitamins, and basically a really long laundry list of elements, compounds, and naturally occurring molecules. That should go a long way toward explaining why this intriguing compound has seen such a meteoric rise in popularity. Did you just say cannabinoids? What are they? As mentioned previously, cannabinoids are the class of compounds found exclusively in members of the Cannabaceae plant family. By far the most famous, or infamous, depending on your perspective, cannabinoid has historically been delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. Abbreviated to THC, this is the cannabinoid responsible for creating the high described by many users of the marijuana plant. The cannabinoid THC is single-handedly responsible for the various pieces of legislation that have introduced stiff penalties for the cultivation, use, sale, purchase, and even possession of members of the cannabis genus and/or any of their derivative product. Okay, so THC and CBD are both cannabinoids. Is CBD even legal? Good question. With the passage of the Farm Bill, otherwise known as the Agricultural Improvement Act of 2018, Congress removed hemp, and by extension its derivative products, containing less than 0.3% THC from the Controlled Substances Act. Conscientious manufacturers provide a certificate of analysis for each batch and type of product so that it can be easily verified that the product falls within the guidelines that have been set forth. So the short answer is yes, CBD is federally legal. With that said, you should always check local laws and statutes as well as the certificate of analysis provided by the manufacturer. Got it. So CBD is legal, but THC isn't. Then what's the difference between hemp and marijuana? It all comes down to the concentrations and applications. Hemp and marijuana are very close botanical relations sharing membership in the cannabis genus. However, there are some striking differences between the two in terms of how they're cultivated, their active compounds, and their suitability for various applications. As for their chemical makeup, hemp is typically very low in THC and high in CBD, while marijuana is generally higher in THC and lower in CBD. Hemp does not have psychoactive properties, while marijuana does. In cultivation, marijuana's growth cycle is usually carefully controlled to maximize its psychoactive properties, where hemp is cultivated in much the same way as ordinary agricultural staple crops. Finally, where marijuana has a few very specific recreational and medical uses, hemp is incredibly versatile. It is estimated that hemp has over 25,000 possible applications spanning a diverse range of industries. Will CBD make me feel like I'm intoxicated? Short answer, no. The intoxicating, or more accurately, psychoactive sensations described by users of marijuana are a result of the presence of delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC. The Farm Bill and associated guidelines for the regulation of the hemp industry prescribe that for hemp to meet the legal standard for exemption from the existing laws pertaining to cannabis, it must contain less than 0.3% THC content. While users of CBD have described a variety of sensations arising from their use of CBD, the absence of THC in products from reputable manufacturers means that there are no intoxicating or psychoactive effects. How is CBD used? CBD is available in such a wide variety of forms that its use is only limited by user preference and the ingenuity of manufacturers. Currently, a prospective customer can find CBD e-liquids, tinctures, pet treats, lotions, creams, edibles, even bath bombs, to name but a few. One of the reasons that CBD has seen such widespread adoption is this broad selection of readily available forms. If you prefer not to swallow capsules, or vape, or have an aversion to creams, there are a myriad of other ways to experience this remarkable cannabinoid. What does full-spectrum CBD mean? Full-spectrum CBD is actually a bit of a misnomer. What is being referenced is a full-spectrum hemp extraction with a high proportion of the available cannabinoids being CBD. Full-spectrum indicates that the entire above-ground portion of the hemp plant, leaves, stalks, flowers, stems, even seeds, have been used as the source material for the extraction. Rather than selectively refining only the CBD, as would be found in a CBD isolate, A full spectrum extraction retains the full range of compounds that are naturally occurring within the source material. Why is this a good thing? Preliminary research hints at a phenomenon named the entourage effect that seems to show that the other terpenes and trace compounds found in the hemp plant maximize the CBD experience. Will CBD make me test positive on a drug test? It shouldn't, but, and it's a big but, depending on a number of factors including the spectrum and proportions of compounds in the source material, your metabolism, body composition, the refinement and quality assurance processes in place at the manufacturing level, as well as the scope and detection thresholds of the test itself, it may be possible. If you have concerns about this possibility, the most conservative course of action would be to avoid using any hemp-derived products. That said, the majority of common tests are looking for either THC itself or THC metabolites, as legal CBD products from reputable manufacturers should contain a THC concentration of less than 0.3%. Experts in the field have deemed the possibility of CBD influencing a drug test as highly unlikely. We feel that it's important to clarify that highly unlikely does not mean impossible. Will CBD interact with any over-the-counter or prescription drugs? Yes, it can. We urge you to consult your physician directly before beginning the use of CBD or any other product. Researchers have identified that CBD can inhibit the enzyme designated as cytochrome 450. This enzyme plays an important role in how the body responds to certain drugs. It's not just CBD that can inhibit this enzyme. Grapefruit has also been shown to produce similar results, hence the common warning from medical professionals to avoid grapefruit before, during, and after taking medications. The prudent and responsible course of action would be to consult your physician before adding any new elements into your routine. How do I know what is considered a serving size of CBD? As with any new food, drink, or exercise routine, it's important to consult a knowledgeable and trusted physician prior to use. While there is much speculation and opinion to be had through a variety of sources, and even though some manufacturers include a serving recommendation on the product itself, it is impossible for anyone but you, or perhaps your physician, to truly know how CBD is interacting with your personal physiology. We strongly urge you to seek the advice of a medical professional with specific knowledge in this area prior to incorporating CBD into your routine. What is meant by CBD rich or CBD dominant? Both CBD rich and CBD dominant are terms used to describe the proportion of CBD in the overall chemical composition of the source material. A source material, usually industrial hemp, that is considered CBD rich would make a good candidate for extraction when the goal is to produce a product with a high concentration of CBD. CBD can be obtained from sources such as marijuana, which are not considered CBD rich. However, more processing and refinement will be required to isolate the desired amount of CBD. What is CO2 extraction? There are many different techniques and methods used for creating extractions. CO2 extraction, also known as supercritical CO2 extraction, is one of the methods that has been demonstrated to produce a high-quality finished product. How does it work? CO2, commonly known as carbon dioxide, exists as a gas at normal atmospheric pressures. However, under extreme pressure, carbon dioxide changes to a liquid state, which allows it to act as a solvent. Unlike a number of other solvents, once the pressure is released, the carbon dioxide rapidly returns to its gaseous state and is quickly dispersed into the atmosphere, leaving behind only the non-volatile compounds extracted from the source material. Simply put, when it comes to applications where purity and quality are the major priorities, CO2 extraction is by far one of the best options available. Are whole plant extracts better than CBD isolates? The jury's still out. A number of researchers have cited the entourage effect as the reasoning behind their opinion that whole plant, full spectrum extractions are superior to isolates. The entourage effect is a phenomenon in which it appears that the naturally occurring terpenes and trace compounds work together to maximize the overall CBD experience. Other researchers seem to indicate that an isolated CBD compound could consistently yield a more standardized and reliable CBD experience. Ultimately, until more conclusive research is available, any particular opinion on whether whole plant extracts are superior to CBD isolates is simply that, an opinion. Does CBD produce any side effects? This is another subject which needs more research and closer examination by scientists, researchers, and medical professionals. Reports of side effects from CBD seem to be few and far between, and, perhaps most importantly, of a relatively low order of magnitude. That said, it is impossible for anyone to predict how any food, drink, or other compounds will interact with your unique physiology. If you are concerned about the possible side effects from using CBD, we would strongly urge you to consult a knowledgeable and trusted physician with specific knowledge of this field. If you believe you are experiencing side effects from CBD or any other product you're currently using, you are urged to discontinue use and seek the advice of a medical professional immediately. That's about it. We hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this video about some of the finer points of CBD,